Welcome back, boys and some girls. This video, all the information in it is based around 800 hours on Steam game time and another few hundred hours 11 years ago whenever I played MapleStory on the original launcher. What you also need to know is this whole video is based around mostly reboot and heroic servers. Would also love feedback from you and help. This is probably the only time I'm going to ask for this, to spread this video and actually get it to people that might actually be able to change something. People with more power than me. If you know a way that you can reach somebody with the ability to actually do some change, please do it, because I really do love MapleStory. It's my childhood game. As much as I trash talk about it, as much as I talk about this, which seem to be harsh, I love the game. Okay, so let's begin. The video will be split into two main parts. Number one is going to be big changes that need to be refined more and maybe they can be debated a bit more. And then number two is just rapid fire round about small changes that I don't know why they're not in the game right now. It makes zero sense to me. Here are the subjects that will be talked about in this video. Okay, let's start with the story to get it out of the way. We need to decide, and I say we mean Nexon. We need to decide if we care about the story or we don't. If we do, you should remake the story so it actually makes sense, voice it, change line, proofread the text that you actually put in the game, make stuff make sense, remake it, because a lot of stuff you change the terminology of a certain individual a few times within the same quest line. I have no idea what the title of the individual is, or quests that make no sense and contradict each other. So that's if we care about the story. You could also bring back the old map designs if we do. Right now all the maps are completely flat, just go right to left. Some maps have more platforms or less platforms, shorter platforms or longer platforms, doesn't matter. But all they have is platforms. It's not like, I don't know, Magatia, where you have like a bunch of steps you can step on. Or the Yew Garden Temple, where you can go on the stairs, stuff like that. Most of the maps are just flat. If we don't care about the story, which is totally fine, nobody has to care about the story, mostly I do. If we don't care about the story, so get this crap out of the way. I don't want when I level to level 245. I don't want to go to the Sphere quest line. Give me the symbol. I don't want to do the quest line. If it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. Get this out of the way. Why do people have to like hold spacebar to rush through the quest line? If nobody cares about the story in your game, then get this out of the way. My idea, and I want your feedback here again, may be interesting, is exchanging the maps in the whole game world, depending, especially now that you know that Maple and Grandis is the same world, exchanging the whole maps depending on the story. Let's say for now Darmoor is the Black Mage. I'm saying Black Mage because he's the Transcendent, he's the big boy of Grandis, right? So let's say he's gonna invade Victor Island the same way that the Black Mage did, right? So everything is gonna be destroyed. You can have fire everywhere. You could have that all the maps over there are higher level maps. Then wherever the alliance is going to escape to, it doesn't have to be a new map. It could be the same map or it could be a new map. Who cares? And once in your lifetime, you can actually create a new world that's actually for lower level characters. I don't mean like 10 to 30. I mean 10 to 60, 10 to 70, something like that. The same with Victoria Islands, because the alliance is over there, meaning it's artificially lowering lore-wise the level of the characters around it, the NPCs, the monsters, because they exert control over the maps near where they are. The same, for example, if, yes, they were located at Six Pass Crossway, and from there, all the powers are going to separate all over Victoria Island, right? So all around it makes sense, it's going to be lower level stuff. And Victoria Island for now, it's a big fight, because Darmoor, let's say, is in Sleepywood right now, okay? So Sleepywood now is the new level 310 area, 325 area, however high you want to go with this for the story. We don't know how many generals are coming until Darmoor actually is going to be a fight. So decide what you do and follow that. My next thing I think it needs to change is the tutorial. It's kind of going back to the same thing I talked about the story, but not really. 0 to 100 is just to waste your time. It has no reason to exist in the game currently. If you want to make it have reason, then what about all the guys who leveled before then? Now they're missing, which is why I think it's not the best decision. The best decision is to just basically get rid of 10 to 200. You can use it as a tutorial for new players, because the game doesn't really explain to you very well what to do. You have to use other players, you have to use guides, you have to look for YouTube, you have to look on Google. If you just play the game, it's going to be very hard to understand what's going on. Something as simple as a boss mechanic. You have to search because you're in the fight, you're escaping like 6 balls that are thrown at you at a time, stuff from the ceiling, the boss is slowing you, is jumping on top of you, and then there's like a small chat and a small text on the bottom of the screen that says, oh, by the way, you need to avoid this kind of stuff. Who has time to read this? Who reads this? I'm in the middle of avoiding 17 different stuff. Do you think I have time to read this? No. All items below level 120 just make no sense in the game currently. I suggest delete everything from the game. It was nice that it was there. Let's shake hand and move this. Make it a tutorial until level 200, or I don't know what you do, but just get rid of this. So much fodder, so much random questing, so much random stuff that makes no sense in the current game. Do something about it. Currently it's just a ghost town. Half of the world, I say half, but it's way more. 80% of the world is just a ghost town. You maybe see 1 or 2 characters maybe leveling over there, somebody leveling his legion, but that's it. It's just a ghost town around Victoria Island. Some of the islands for Grandis, all of the Maple world is just a complete ghost town. This section targets the more linear design that MapleStory has, which is a very vertical design. More gear, more damage, more number, and it's a cycle that can never end. You always target the low percent of players that actually play the high level tier stuff, and the moment they reach the ceiling, you extend the ceiling even more and more and more. I'm going to talk about it more in the next point, but you basically leave your tail very long behind. I think party quests should be returning to the game. They should have 0 pre-quest, no matter your level. You should be able to go inside. Well, obviously like below level 60 you can't, because you have to have some sort of skills, right? I want level 60 to do a quest with level 260. The damage should be scaled to the relevant mob, the same as, for example, Princess Snow, where you deal like 1k damage or whatever. It should be incentivizing players to play together. The party quest should be around that. The same might be like the event quests that you have, where one play the mage, one play a warrior, one play archer, one play a thief, right? And everybody has a role. The mage can freeze the fire that the mobs make, the thief does the most damage, the warrior can stun the boss. There are more stuff you can play with other players. It's actually fun to play with other different people. Fun alone shouldn't be the thing holding us back together. You should also have rewards that are properly rewarding to the job that you just did. Fun is one thing, yeah, it's nice, but we need to be rewarded. For example, I think you should be getting coins, and the party quest shop should be very different. You should be able to buy soul earned fragments, you should be able to get damage skins, chairs maybe, and more visual type of items, maybe even totems or pocket items, but that could be a bit too much. Now going down memory lane, I'm going to explain to you a bit about achievements, and you're going to see percentage for certain bosses that drop such items. I put this in your screen so you can see it's global achievement rate. It's not for specifically me. I'm going to start showing you the bosses by groups of equipment level, and you can see on each one of the bosses, you can see the completion rate, how many people killed the actual boss, and what year was it released. Obviously servers change and whatever, but it's a global completion rate, meaning the entirety of GMS. From what I understand, this is what you can see in the game. I tried to research it online. This is what I find everyone say, and this is what I understand to be. So we can see the bosses and their percentage of completion. You will see as we progress, let's say for 90% for a Kyrium, which is basically an essential boss, it's an extremely low percentage. You can see the Crimson Queen, the Chaos Root Abyss basically is around 20-21%, all of the bosses. Cygnus 17%. Obviously her equipments are not really relevant, but the same 17% for that kind of boss. Now we go to level 160 equipments, the Absolab set. You can see Damien and Lotus again are normal. I'm comparing only normal or the easiest difficulty available for that boss. You can see around the same percentage for both of them. One came earlier, the other came later, but it doesn't really matter that much. They all have been completed about the same, and you will see that this jump is a smaller jump from the previous one, from around 17-20% now to 15%, almost 14 to 15%. Now we get to level 200 items, the Arcane set. You can see now the jump is higher. It's almost 10% jump. So you can see Lucid is easier, came earlier. The boss itself is easier, so the percentage is almost doubled from that of Will. Now we drop to level 250 equipment, the Eternal set. You can see the percentages drop drastically. It doesn't seem like a lot because it's like 4%, 3%, or if you count Lucid from previous set, then it's like 7%. Once you do the calculation, it's 70%, it's 80%. It's like big drop off of people who defeated the previous boss and cannot defeat this one. Now all of this is in a party. It's not by yourself, it's in a party. Somebody is carrying you. It doesn't mean you can actually do the damage to kill the boss. It means you can do 5% of the boss, or you can go with other people and together you can complete the boss. I know the bosses are new, but we're already getting a new boss later on this year. At the end of the year we get another one, and you can look at the years. We can expect another one at the year after that, or a few after that. Lastly, we have 2 more bosses. These ones are not giving you like complete sets. They give you like emblems and stuff like that, like extra accessories, things like that. So I didn't put them together with all the equipment, but they also represent the same thing. You can see the drop in the percentage of completion. Black Mage is the first world boss. This is how he was introduced, as the world boss. Seren is really the next boss after that. After the Black Mage, the one you really get is Seren. I know some might say MapleStory is a game you play for hundreds of years. Okay, I'm exaggerating, but you play it for years. So only then it makes sense that you get to level 250, and I agree. It's not supposed to be like in 1 or 2 months you get to level 250. But I think it should be a bit easier, or at least a bit more new player friendly. I am not a new player. I played this game 11 years ago. I came back now because I wanted to try it again. It's fun, sure, because it's more nostalgic to me and I like to grind and sit down and enjoy my time. But a lot more people don't necessarily want to do that. They look at the flashy skills, they look at the numbers, they look at the systems, they want to experiment the system even more. They don't want to sit there for 3 years farming whatever. And you can definitely see at the percentages that people don't like it. The percentages show it. You drop, and we started at like 20% of the player base killed the easiest boss. 20%, the easiest boss to actually get items from many years ago. After you have seen the descending order of the percentages for the bosses, I want to propose maybe a mentor system of sorts. Let's say a strong player carries a new players, and he could get a best in slot item or a title with a long expiration date, so not a short one, like I don't know, maybe 2 months, something like that. But they have to fill a bar to get the actual title, or again, medal, whatever you want to call it. To fill the bar, they have to teach a new guy. New guy means somebody who doesn't have above level 260, 270 in their account, like in all their account, no matter which world, whatever. They have to have 0 level 270, 260, something like that. They don't have any. They have to teach them how to avoid the mechanics. They have to do a certain amount of damage. They have to do a certain amount of stuff, right? If they get hit, they get X amount. Let's say if they get hit by the mechanic, they get 50 points, right? If they doesn't get hit, they get 100 points or 150 points. So once you lose and somebody in your party, that's a new guy, didn't avoid all the mechanics, well, you got something. You didn't get nothing out of it. I'm not here to demoralize you. I'm trying to incentivize people to help new players and to do more in the game. And the new player is not going to feel bad. Oh shit. But again, the strong player is not gonna sit there at the entrance of the party looking for only noobs that know what to do, meaning people are gonna start trading accounts. They're gonna make account with no level, I don't know, 260 above, something like that over in the account, and they're gonna start trading characters for other people to get the actual medal. I want to bring in new players. New players are gonna get, I don't know, XP. They're gonna get something out of it. They're gonna learn how to do the mechanics in the boss, because as I said at the start, you don't learn the mechanics from actually doing the game. Obviously it won't take care 100% of the problem, but it can definitely help somewhat with it. Now this is going to be a very fast round. I'm going to go through a list of stuff I want to see change. This is the small part of the video. This is a lot of stuff that most of them don't need a lot of explaining, but if they do, I will explain. Mesos go straight into my inventory. No need for the stupid pets. More entities just simply slow the game and the netcode of the game. The reset between combos should be higher. It's your main leveling source for when you make Legion characters, your EXP orbs. Let's say for a second you enhance the start to go to a next map or do something, boom, all your combo is gone. Good luck to you. I say give us a few more seconds, maybe even a minute or two. Remove the useless stats from flames and cubes, meaning thieves won't get STR rolls. Nobody cares about that. Remove all this crap. I don't need to get defense as a mage. Field bosses like Mush Mom or Zombie Mush Mom, Blue Mush Mom, Mush Dad, whatever you want to call them, they will be spawning every 50 or 100 mobs, not every 15 minutes. I don't need to change channel like crazy fighting another guy that's also trying to get a completion. All maps should be like Cernium, Burnium and above, meaning if you have a map that you don't see a mobs in the map, meaning it's somebody else's map. Also you can farm together with another person. You can actually talk to more people. Burning field should increase over time, not decrease over time. You already have plenty of reasons not to farm in the game. It should start from 10%, and as you go more and more hours or I don't know, minutes inside the map, you should increase up to 100%. When you go out, that's it. Also, it should be individualized, obviously. Yes, it should not be like total for whoever goes in the map. I should not be blamed because this is the best map, so there's no burning in this map anymore because everybody trains here. It's the only option to play here. Remove the Golux daily limit fail. I can fail 100 times, what do you care? Let me fail 50,000 times. Let me play again until I win. Every new region that comes into the game comes out with a familiar and a badge. I don't need to worry about it like 6 years later. Oh, now we finally got a familiar to the place back then when you leveled at level 260, right? Cool. No. Cubes for familiars. I'm not a slave. I don't need to sit there opening familiars 100 million times just to get like the one thing that I actually need. Remove the expiration dates from items. What do you care when I use my item? I can use it whenever I want. I earned it. I farmed for it. I did a boss for it. I got it from an event. I don't care how I got it. It's mine. Let me keep it for however long I want. I'm gonna get next month another superior Golux or something. Why do you care if I use it this week or next month? It's mine. It creates another problem because then stuff doesn't stack in your inventory. Then you have like an inventory in use filled with random cubes that you got, but you don't need them right now. But they're gonna expire today. But all of them are like 1 minute after the other. So you'd have like your inventory half full with random green cubes that go up to unique. Let me keep it wherever I want. No party limit in Princess No. I don't want to change channels. I can't even change channels in the same place. I have to go out, change channels, come back and hope nobody's in the game. No. I can put 100,000 parties in the same if channel. What do you care? Change it. Or for a very least, let me change channels inside the Princess No map. Increase the soul order limit 20. Are you serious? You serious? We need 300 fragments just to level from 9 to 10 for the Soul Janus. So I need only 20 and the rest is in my inventory, also expiring and unstackable. Are you crazy? This one makes sense because we did this at the Ken River also. As I unlock more areas in Grandis, like Cernium, Burnium, Burnium doesn't count. Cernium, Hotel Arcus, and Odium, lower the levels for the daily missions that I have to do at the first area. The same as we did in Arcane River. Equipment sold at certain areas doesn't make any sense. For example, U Garden, level 140 area. They're selling level 60 equipment. Why? don't sell the equipment or sell equipment that match the area. This one, I'm not sure if it's a bug or if it's a feature. If it's a feature, it sucks. When you change your presets, it actually counts as if you're changing link skill between characters. This one is another thing that simply goes back all the way back to the story thing. For example, quests like buying the Blackwing hat are very irrelevant because you have TP rocks. You can just go into the mine, you don't even have to look at the guy. You just complete it for the sake of mission completion, but you don't have to even look at his eyes. And this one is very like specific for me. Obviously, it's something that I want for Luminous. It's to have anchor points for reflection, so I can place like 1 or 2, maybe 3 points that I can use reflection on, so I don't have to wait for mobs, or I don't have to look at mobs for specifically. I want to create certain shapes that reflection is more likely to follow, instead of just hoping for the reflection to do whatever I want, to bounce however I want. That's it. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, thank you. If you didn't, well, it was quite a long video for my videos, but that's it. Keep yourself safe. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.